guys, welcome to my weekly vlog of learning to day trade penny stocks. Today I'm going to share a couple of nice trades that I took so far this week. Pleased with my discipline so far. The last couple of weeks has been good. I've really tried to have just tunnel vision on what I wanted to trade this week, not be too concerned about what anyone else is trading just because it can distract me and lose focus. So I'm really pleased with that. I've not traded too much. The trades I've taken have been good. The ones I've missed have been really good, and I'm a bit gutted that I missed a couple through negligence, but I didn't let that affect me, and I still managed to cash in when more setups presented themselves. The market's actually been really hot and a lot of opportunities are arising, so I'm really happy with the way things are going. Let's go to the charts. So the first ticker I traded, what we're going to talk about, was ZSTK. Let's just quickly go to the daily chart. This is its day one here, and it's gone from around the 180s up to highs of over $12 and closed up, lost a lot of its gains and closed around the just under the $5 mark, but it's still closed up well over 100%, so it's on my radar. Thing to note on this one, it's done low volume. It's only done 24 mil in volume, which is pretty low for the tickers that I tend to trade. So I'm looking at this for a day two move. So we've got the run here, massive retracement, and then can see really beautiful base here around the $4 mark. And it's just a really simple trade, to be honest, and I'm just looking to get in around this area. I'm risking, so initially I'm looking at this pre-market low, but actually I set my risk because it's so close to the $4 mark. This low here was around 402. I need to round it down a bit because I put it at 398, just under the $4 mark, just to allow a little bit of wiggle room. And this is a pattern that I wouldn't even be looking at other than the fact that it's in play at the moment and I've seen it so many times. That's why I'm trading it. Otherwise, this setup is just not of interest. So it's very much just because what's happening in the market at the moment. So I think my first entry was around 416. I just took a small piece because I wanted to make sure I definitely got into this trade. And actually I'm doing a 2.5k challenge account where I only take A+ setups on that account. And I've been waiting for several weeks now to see something that I actually wanted to use it for, and this is the first trade that I traded with that with those funds. So just so buzzing that this actually worked out. So when I was entering, I was just adding in. As it came lower, I just kept adding, and just zoom in a little bit. And obviously I'm sort of loading in here, and it's a pre-market entry, and it's my first trade on the challenge account. So there was definitely kind of this anxiety, but like, okay, if this cuts through my risk, which it very well could do pre-market, and it very well could do. I was adding in sort of quite close to market open. I was thinking market open could just rip through my stop, and I'm just going to have to start off with taking a larger loss than normal on this challenge account. But I accepted that because I knew that this was the trade to take. And I always get this feeling when I take these premium setups that if this breaks my risk, I'm going to be watching this like a hawk to get back in, because I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work. Not to say it has to work, but I was just very confident that this would be the move. So I wanted to add in a bit more on market open. I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave a little bit for market open. Just in case there's time to get in or it rips through my stop and I have to re-enter. But on market open, it didn't allow me that. It just started to go already, which is fine. So yeah, kind of just doing these halts. It started to halt from here, I think it was. And at this point I was thinking, oh, do I just kind of sell now because I'm putting larger size on than I normally would? But I thought, no, this isn't the plan. The plan is, you know, they should be getting at least 30% from this. So this was halted, and I had to wait about 15 minutes in this halt for the price to be tradable again. And you know, when you see that, you can just tell from the price and the action that it's going to open up higher. So I was just really, I guess I'm going to say excited, because I was excited where it's going to open, and I was just going to sell immediately, at least half my position. And that's what I did. I think I sold off half at 5.66, 67, something like that. And then with these, they can continue halting upwards. So that was in my mind, that I do want to leave some more on in case it does that. But it didn't. It just kind of came down. So I was just sort of selling along the way. Did really well with my sales and took a 31% gain on that. And then it came all the way back down. So I'm really glad I sold up there. And then, it's pushing again. Chances are it could continue. I don't know. But there's no way I would have wanted it to come all the way back down. I would have just cut there, to be honest. So I'm really happy with my sales on that. And as I said, no other reason to be trading this other than that's a pattern I've seen recently. As soon as that goes out of play, it's going off my list. And then the other ticker that I traded on the same day, I hate being in more than one ticker at the same time, but when the setups are there, they're there. XOS for a first green day bounce. So this has had a run here. It's come all the way back down, and now it's kind of doing this dead cat bounce. It's moving again. So it's had a move here up to around the $5 mark from the twos. And it's done 110 mil in volume, so high volume, lovely retracement. Nice clean retracement, and then I'm trying to play it for a bounce on this day. So this is a setup which I'm most comfortable with, but it's been so out of play for months. I want to say sort of 6, maybe even 8 months. This setup's not been fruitful, not been setting up the way I like. It's just not been there. So this is the first one. I've seen a couple here and there, to be fair, but really this is the first one I've seen in a long time that's set up so nicely. So here's the run on day 1, and then this lovely retracement here on day 2. Such a nice retracement. And then it's coming down to this level after hours, this kind of area here, resistance, that then it broke out of, which is kind of the 280s, 289. So I am looking at this. You can see that it's got a little spike after hours, kind of hinting that it might want to bounce on this day. And then pre-market the next day, it's hovering around the previous day's close. So it's that red-green area, chops around a little bit here, and then just comfortably holds it for the whole of pre-market. So this setup, really nice. I got in at average entry was 297. I think I took a couple of entries. And had it not been for the other trade that I was also in, ZSTK, I probably would have been inclined to use a challenge account for this as well. But the issue was that I was in it on the other trade, and I just felt uncomfortable thinking that there could be 2 at the same time that go. I thought, surely not. And also you've got the previous day's low to look at, because it could come back down to here and test it, or it could just hold that red-green level, which is an area I just don't love to trade. So I waited till market open. I had my stop set at 287, just literally below where it came down to. So 1 cent lower and I would have been stopped out. And I would have definitely added in here for sure, but it's just the other trade, it took a lot of my focus as well, that I just thought I'm just gonna stick with what I've got here and just go with it. And then obviously you got this really nice bounce to the 4s, and I actually think this could push further potentially. Let's see, it's still holding up here, so there's a good chance that could go further. I don't know, but I just like to be in and out on these first green days. So I took a 26% gain on this trade, and there was actually about 4 first green day bounces that happened on the same day as this. This was the only really one that I would have probably, well, I did trade it. The others, definitely a handful of them, I wouldn't have traded. I wouldn't have predicted their bounce from there. I don't like how they set up, but they did do the first green day bounce. So that tells me that this setup is now coming back into play. Hopefully, I really hope so, because I just love this setup. So yeah, it's just about seeing now if there's more of these that occur, and if they set up in the right way. Just because they're there doesn't mean I'm going to take them. They have to set up where I can get in with good risk reward. So really happy about my trades this week. And there was actually a couple of other premium setups this week which I had my eye on, and just through negligence I missed them, and I was absolutely gutted, because they are the setups that I would have put size on and allowed such good entry and risk, but just got distracted with other things. But I was kind of keen to not let that skew my read or discipline. I really wanted to stay focused, because you just never know what's going to come up the next day, which was, these two tickers. So I think it's just a lesson that just, if you miss something, forget it, just wait for the next one. So yeah, XOS and ZSTK. One of the things that I've been doing over the last month or so is using the AI services of Claude, and using it to log all the premium setups that I've seen that I would have traded. They fit my setups, or that I have traded. And it just really shows me how little I need to trade. There's normally just 1 or 2 premium setups a week that I would need to take. At the moment, this week's given me 4 so far, so it's been pretty fruitful. But on average, I'd say there's like 1 or 2 a week. So that really helps me just sit back and just really wait for the perfect setup and the perfect entry. Just because the setup is there doesn't mean the entry is there. And I'm okay with missing them more now, because I know that there will be one that presents itself perfectly for me as often as I need it, for the time being anyway. And one of the things that I just love about trading is the creativity involved, and that everybody is trading completely different tickers. There's not just one setup to take. It depends on what setups you're looking at, how you like to trade. So, seeing other traders trade completely different things to me and making some really good gains is really cool. And likewise, I'm trading stuff that they probably won't be looking at. So I think if you are a beginner trader, don't just think that there's, this is the one setup of the week. It could be anything. It could be any number of things. You could be shorting stocks, you could be longing stocks, you could be trading them on day 1, day 3, day 2. It just depends what you're comfortable with and what you're working on. So there's definitely always opportunity out there. So cheers for watching, and I will catch you next Sunday.